Thank you for listening to this PodcastOne Sportsnet production, available on Apple Podcasts and PodcastOne.
All right, thanks for the download button on today's Unleashed episode. Everything flies here, including all my favorite four-letter words. So, to be forewarned is to be forearmed. If you don't like cussing, you might want to hit the stop button. But before we get rolling, let me ask you something. Have you ever been at work or maybe at the gym or out with family and friends and you start to worry that maybe you didn't lock your front door before you left, or maybe didn't close all the windows? Are you worried that you left your house wide open to any thief who wanted to come in and steal your stuff? If you've ever asked yourself any of those questions, then you need Simply Safe Home Security. And I can't think of a better holiday gift than giving someone a little peace of mind. And right now, Simply Safe is having the biggest holiday sale ever. You can get $200 off Simply Safe's special holiday security package. This award-winning alarm system has everything you need to protect your home. It's got an arsenal of 17 security sensors to secure each door and window. There's a panic button, a blaring extra siren, and a wireless connection to authorities and police dispatch, so your family, your home, and everything in it stays safe around the clock. This system is usually $600, but right now you can get it for just $400 when you go to simplysafeaustin.com. This is the biggest deal Simply Safe has ever offered. Plus, there's no long-term contract, no installation costs, and no hidden fees. It only takes a minute to sign up. Go to simplysafeaustin.com. That's simplysafeaustin.com. That's SIMPLI safeaustin.com.
The following program is a PodcastOne.com production. He started in a small town in Texas. Worked his ass off to become one of the most famous wrestlers of all time.
We're going to take care of business tonight, and that's the bottom line.
And now he's dominating the world of on-demand audio. And he's doing it for the working man.
This is a damn good outlet for me to spew the bullshit off my brain.
Yeah! This is the Steve Austin Show. Unleashed.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Steve Austin Show. I am coming to you from the Broken Skull Ranch out here in South Texas. Man, I got a good podcast for you today. Shooting the shit. Ted Fowler 361 is here. My wonderful, illustrious wife, Kristen, is going to join in on the podcast. Another rare occasion where I was able to rope her in and give her the microphone with a 30-foot cable. She's going to join in with a couple of stories. Headaches, hassles, and horse shit galore out here at the Broken Skull. Hey, today's podcast, me and Ted are going to relive our road trip to UVC Power Sports in Alvin, Texas, to visit with Shannon Trace and the gang about outfitting Buck the Mule, my Kawasaki Mule Pro FXT. He's going to get tricked out, outfitted. Tricked out sounds kind of funky. This thing's going to be outfitted. It's going to be macho, badass, and cool, functional. We work in these things. They run the Broken Skull Ranch, so we're going to make it tougher, bigger, and badder than it already is. And you're going to be able to follow this whole process along. I'll drop that information later in the podcast. But it was good to get out there and just get on the highways of Texas and put the hammer down. I'm running a radar detector. You can hear the stories when I get finished with this open. While I was doing this open right here, my wife's sitting there giving me the high sign, waving in the air. So I pushed the stop button. She said, "We got a FedEx delivery. It's the one coming from Rob." Rob, over there at El Segundo Brewing Company. Now, he can't ship beer. InsideTheCellar.com shipped the beer. But Rob at El Segundo Brewing Company at 140 Main Street, send me a damn birthday package, a Christmas package, whatever it is. It's got a bunch of damn Broken Skull IPA, some Standard Crude, all their other badass beers. So I cannot wait to go meet the UPS guy out on the road to get my beer.
A shout out to Adrian.
Shout out to Adrian, the UPS driver, coming all the way out here to the Broken Skull Ranch to make that delivery. Kristen, my birthday is coming up on December 18th.
And my birthday is too.
Your birthday is going to be on December 19th. Our anniversary is on December 21st. 3 days to celebrate. And then you got Christmas Eve, Christmas, and New Year's Eve. We're going to have plenty of beer for all the festivities and celebration.
But you're not drinking anymore.
I know I'm not drinking anymore, but when it's your birthday and somehow, some way, after 13, 14 years in the business of pro wrestling, to still be 52, I used to be 52. I still am, but I used to too.
Getting so old.
Oh, come on. You can't go wrong with the Mitch Hedberg riff. All right, Kristen, it's going to be my 52nd birthday. Don't you think I deserve to celebrate with style and a great tasting beer?
Absolutely.
Okay, then bring out the Broken Skull IPA. As far as I'm concerned, it's the best fucking IPA in the United States of America.
Can I make you enchiladas?
We were having this discussion. My wife always likes to make me my favorite birthday meal. Now, when I was living with my mom and dad growing up in Edna, Texas, every year for my birthday present, my mom would make me fried chicken, mashed potatoes and gravy, and broccoli with cheese sauce. That was my birthday meal. Even today, if we was going to go to Edna, Texas, that's what my mother would make me. But Kristen, because I don't really eat a whole lot of fried chicken anymore, Kristen will make me my other favorite meal, which is my favorite Mexican meal, beef enchiladas. Did you buy the ingredients the other day when it was at the San Antonio?
No, not yet.
Well, we're going to San Antonio tomorrow.
Yep.
To eat with my buddy Jimmy, my doctor Jimmy, who's been keeping me together for, Jesus Christ.
52 years.
Well, I met him when I was like in my mid-30s, but Jimmy's been keeping me together all these years in my WWE run. And so we're meeting them for Mexican food. We're going to a Mexican food restaurant. Papacito's my favorite restaurant in San Antonio. So we're going to pick up all the ingredients. Yes, I'll come off my diet. I'm going to train like a beast, a friggin' animal, so I can eat a bunch of beef enchiladas. Are you happy about that?
Yes, I am.
What is going to be the sides? Because normally when you make these things, they're like 2 big casserole dishes, and me and Teddy are eating on them for like 3 days.
No, you guys eat them on one day. You plow through those.
Well, I didn't want to sound like a complete glutton and a pig. But yeah, we mow through them pretty quick.
Yeah.
Is there going to be any side dishes?
I usually do Spanish rice and beans.
And you got a good Spanish rice recipe.
Yes.
And a lot of people think, Spanish rice, how do you fuck that up? Hey, I've been to a lot of damn Mexican food restaurants where you can fuck it up pretty good. My wife's got a good recipe. And the thing I like about your recipe is not heavy and it's moist.
Yes.
Sometimes they dry out the rice too much.
Yes.
That ain't worth a shit.
Yeah.
So it's good. Hey, we were going to talk about something on the Open This podcast. What was it? Oh, yeah. My wife, we're remodeling our house. So my wife had to fly back to Los Angeles the other day. And so we had a car come pick her up at the gas station. I dropped my wife off at the gas station, took her to the airport. She got delayed for 2 hours. Y'all heard all that bullshit. But all of a sudden, they started making this thing about the damn cell phones on the airplanes.
Right, the Samsung
The
Galaxy.
Samsung, whatever
Galaxy
model it is. The Samsung Galaxy. Man, I don't want to blab it out there, but everybody knows about the damn phones. And they said, what did they say, Kristen?
When you get on the plane now, they say, we do not allow the Samsung Galaxy on the plane. But nobody gets off the plane with the Samsung Galaxy, so there's no way to check it. Everybody's sitting there.
And here's the thing. Half the people I know got the Samsung Galaxy phone. It looks just like an iPhone. I say,
Right.
hey, man, what is that iPhone? No, Samsung Galaxy. I almost got one myself because I got so fed up with the iPhone.
I guess they blow up or something.
Yeah, some kind of malfunction, because if the airplane won't let them on board, there's a fucking problem with the phone. And, of course, this airplane, this jet that Kristen's flying on, there's probably 150 or 200 people on this thing, right?
Right.
And when the flight attendant says, hey, if you have a Samsung Galaxy phone, we're going to have to take it from you or you got to get off the airplane. How many people raised their hand and said, yep, God damn it, I got one.
Not a one.
Not a one. Man, see, if I'd have been sitting beside somebody, I looked down and had a Samsung Galaxy phone, I'd hit the flight attendant call button. Hey, what's wrong? You need a drink? No, this motherfucker got a Galaxy phone. You got to get him over here. I don't want the airplane to go crazy. So anyway, nobody volunteered their phones.
No.
And here's the thing we would have been dealing with, and not to throw Samsung under the bus, but that washer we have at the house at 316 Gimmick Street. Ever since we bought that sumbitch, it's been cattywampus. My wife calls Samsung, and then she calls Sears, the people we bought it from, and give her the runaround.
I must have spent 20 hours on the phone with various people.
20 woman hours trying to get to the bottom of this, and she has every call documented. That's how meticulous my wife is when it comes to turning something back in or making a return. Because,
right.
Or like Home Depot, when I buy something, if it's like a $20 or a $50 item, and it turns to go belly up, I just say, hey, fuck it, man. I don't want to go through that line and just return all the shit at that gimmick counter. not my wife. If it costs 50 cents or 75 cents or $2, she will be in the line returning stuff. So when she says that she has done this and documented to try to return our Samsung washing machine that we wash our clothes in, it's a fucking shoot. And they give you the runaround. So now, all of a sudden, they send us these notices in the mail. What's the new notice on the Samsung washer?
You have to put a sticker on it because the lid could come off.
Yeah, so all of a sudden, they're going to send you a couple of stickers that say, warning, all of a sudden, you got to put a couple of stickers on your Samsung washing machine that says, warning, the lid might blow off this motherfucker. So I'm telling my wife, I said, well, you know what? I care so much about your life, and I love you. I'm going to buy you a motorcycle helmet, a full-face motorcycle helmet, and some gear so you can go put the clothes in the washing machine. And I'm going to have a matching outfit. I'm going to be number 361. You want to be number one? Well, we got to get numbers. We got to do this right. And on the back of your jersey, I'm going to put Kristen. Yeah. But when you got to buy a motorcycle helmet to go change your clothes out of the damn washing machine, that's bullshit.
Well, and I called within the 30-day time period they give you to return the washing machine, but they still wouldn't let me do it. It was a mess. I finally just gave up. I had to say uncle.
I know, but the thing about it was you documented everything, and then Sears tries to reroute you. They give you the runaround, and then Samsung reroutes you. They try to put you back on the Sears. Sears tried to put you on the Samsung.
And that exhausted my time frame.
You exhausted your time frame. One's playing good cop, bad cop.
Yeah. So
it's bullshit. So anyway.
So now we got 2 stickers we can put on the machine that says, be careful, the lid may fly off.
I was just wondering, like when you told me that story, I was thinking maybe, 30 minutes out of San Antonio as you was flying into Los Angeles to LAX airport that someone would kind of shuffle up there to the where the flight attendant's hanging in the front of the plane. You know what? Y'all gave us a warning about the Samsung Galaxy phones, and I didn't raise my hand back before we took off, but I got to admit, the guilt is just tearing me apart. I've got a Samsung Galaxy. Well, all of a sudden, they're going to abort the damn thing. We're coming in for an emergency landing. It's not that a lady's giving birth. It's not anybody's had a heart attack. Someone turned in a Samsung Galaxy phone. Do you think that's really going to happen?
Probably.
I don't
think they're meant
so.
to.
Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to get some more evidence of this, but surely it's been in the news.
Yeah, I've seen it in the news.
I think it's bullshit. I ain't never heard nobody's phone blowing up on them. I ain't never seen one motherfucker walking down the area we live in Marina Del Rey at all those stoplights, because you see everybody shuffling down the sidewalk, not looking, don't have their head on a swivel, don't give a fuck about nothing, and the phone just blew up on them. I think it's bullshit.
Well, they have reported incidents of it, Steve.
Well, I know. That's why we're talking about it on the podcast. But I just can't believe that, a phone, a little piece of fucking glass and electronic modules and a dilithium crystal would just blow up on somebody.
I have no idea.
If anybody knows what the dilithium crystal was, that's a Star Trek reference from an episode way back in the 60s.
I was wondering what you said.
Yeah, damn. Goddamn, Steve's a smart motherfucker.
Smart.
Knows all about these whole cell phones. That's why I call him a smartphone, Kristen. Hey, man, we got a great podcast. You chipped in on the 30-foot cord. Thanks for joining us on the podcast.
And apologies today. I'm having allergies, so...
Yeah, she's having allergies. I didn't notice any lack of performance on the podcast. How did the allergies affect you?
I kept on having to get up and blow my nose.
Oh, well, shit. I had to stop the record button. I was stuttering. I couldn't tell a story. All kinds of shit was happening.
Oh, I know.
Anyway, hey, man, let's get into the podcast here in a minute. But like I said, I'm coming from the Broken Skull Ranch in South Texas, and I love doing the Shooting the Breeze podcast with my buddy Ted and my wife Kristen because it's so much fun, and it's the shit that really happens in our lives. So anyway, before we continue on with the podcast, I got to take care of one more sponsor who also happens to be a close personal friend of mine, Diamond Dallas Page and DDPY. Dallas has changed thousands of lives with this DDPY program, and I don't just mean the pro wrestlers who love it like Jake the Snake, RVD, Kane, Mick Foley. I mean all the people all over the globe who just want to live a healthier life. And DDPY can do the same for you. And since it's the holidays, DDP is offering up a great deal on DDPY. Buy a max pack or a combo pack and get a second one for 50% off. And, of course, when you buy the DDPY DVDs, you'll also get 3 months of free access to the DDP Yoga Now app. And that means you can do DDPY right from your phone or tablet anytime, anywhere. So if you've been thinking about taking control of your own health and fitness going into the new year, now's the time to do it. Take advantage of this great deal at ddpyoga.com/Austin. That's ddpyoga.com/Austin. It's one of DDPY's best deals to go along with Dallas's big love of the holidays. That guy must have over 100 Santa figures at his place down in Atlanta. He's also got a holiday train that runs through his house, so he's spreading his holiday spirit by giving you the chance to buy a max pack or combo pack and get a second one for 50% off. So take advantage of DDP's ho, 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 ho holiday sale at ddpyoga.com/Austin. That's ddpyoga.com/Austin. Commit now. Change your life now. Go to ddpyoga.com/Austin to get started.
What do you believe? Would you have had the courage of Muhammad Ali to take on the government based on principle? Or could you find the resolve of Tommy Smith and John Carlos and raise your fist in defiance? Would you have been tough enough to hold your sisters down like Billie Jean King? I'm Chris Webber. Join me every Tuesday on my podcast, Fearless or Insane. We'll discuss sport, athletes, and their impact on society, politics, and culture. Download on PodcastOne, PodcastOne.com, and iTunes.
Steve Austin, Unleashed.
All right, everybody. Welcome to Steve Austin Show. Goddamn, you talk about a hell of a damn morning. I can't get anything straight. Oh, man, yeah. I started off this morning. I started drinking a couple cups of coffee. Try to wake up. We got rained in this morning because the rain came, so we could not, yeah. Well, why? We got rained in. Why? Because it rained. That's why I never won any awards. I'm too fucking stupid. It was raining, so we didn't go out this morning. So I figured, all right, we'll wake up after we eat breakfast and go in and record a podcast. And then I was making my breakfast, and Moolah always likes to help me when I'm in the kitchen. I was cooking my eggs, and she likes to lay on my feet while I'm cooking. That's what she does.
Oh, that's
when
the
we're
excuse.
washing dishes. Yeah, it is. So I reach up on the top shelf. When I'm using my right arm, it doesn't straighten out all the way. And I pull the oats down just with a tip, just try to tip the can over and I'm going to grab them. And those motherfuckers come tumbling down, and Moolah had oatmeal all over her ass. And I was mad as a hornet because the last thing I want to do is clean up a big fucking mess.
Right.
Well, your eggs are cooking on the
Well,
stove.
my eggs are cooking, so I go get the vacuum cleaner, and I take the damn extender hose off there, and I'm trying to vacuum the oats up. But there's so much shit in there that the damn suction don't work on the vacuum cleaner, and I'm mad as a hornet. Kristen gets all the oatmeal off Moolah.
That's not really the case. You picked up the wrong end of the vacuum cleaner, and you're like, why isn't this thing sucking any oats up? You picked up the wrong end of it.
Well, so I ain't very good at vacuuming. I'll go ahead and admit some of my shortcomings happen to be housework.
And then he says, this thing's a piece of shit. I'm like, really?
No, and I
It
said,
works for me.
I said, this vacuum cleaner sucks. She goes, of course it does. That's why it's a vacuum cleaner.
I did say that.
And goddamn, so anyway, I was able to,
No, you were able to go eat your eggs, and I fixed the vacuum cleaner.
No, Kristen got the dustpan out in a little gimmick broom and swept up the oats, and then she vacuumed up all the other shit.
After I had to put the vacuum back together.
No, and then she pulls the old, no, it's the filter. And so I'm out there, I take the filter out, take that little foam thing off. I was beating the shit out of it on the front porch. And that wasn't white. Was I using the wrong hose or what?
Yes.
So you worked me into changing the filter and empty out the little canister. It was a rib. This whole morning has been a rib. And so then there's devastation in the front yard. What happened, Teddy? Hey, good morning, first of all. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I
I asked Teddy if he wanted to diet Red Bull a while ago, and he said he's too caffeined up. What happened? You just throw up Mr. Coffee and start making coffee? You got a Keurig over there. What kind of coffee maker you running?
That little Keurig deal with the little K-cups.
Whoa, don't get hot about it. Goddamn, motherfucker all amped up on caffeine and shit like he snorted a rail of methamphetamines. Shit. So what happened?
Well, got up this morning and it was real rain out, so there's nothing to do but watch TV and drink coffee, and I've had about 5 or 6 cups of coffee, so I'm feeling real good. Blood pressure's right up there where it should be. Heart rate's about 200. Yeah, so I'm good. Yeah, but the devastation in the front yard this morning, this is what started off kind of a little somber story. About 2 a.m., the dogs wake me up. They want to go outside and take a leak, do their thing. I open the door, turn the light on. That youngest short hair of mine takes off like a shot. About 20 feet into the yard, she snatches up a little cottontail rabbit, and that's it.
Funny, you didn't mention that this morning when I saw you, Teddy.
No, I mentioned it to Steve, and
He
I
said
said, I didn't want to say anything to Kristen. So here it is on the podcast.
Thanks for the information.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there having a good time, but definitely the loss of life is heavy. Moment of silence for the cottontail. That's about enough. But dogs has been dogs, and man, goddamn, you wouldn't believe how fast a German Shorthair Pointer is. Those motherfuckers can haul ass. They can just haul ass for days. Teddy was out here working his dogs with his collar on them, and they were just running circles, and those motherfuckers just don't get tired. The little rabbit didn't know what hit him. But here's the thing about the rabbit. Every morning we would go to the deer stand, driving them Kawasaki mules. Those things just dart in and out of your headlights. They don't know where to shit or wind their watch. They always say, deer in the headlights, cottontail rabbit in the headlights. They can't make up their mind. So you try to be careful. You slow down, you speed up, try to dodge the little fuckers, but they're a pain in the neck. And I don't mean no harm to them. A lot of people go out there and shoot the cottontails or the jackrabbits. I ain't never shot a rabbit since I owned the place. So they're kind of overpopulated. Maybe that's work for the bobcat to do, but the bobcat sure has a bunch of damn stuff on the menu because I ain't killed one of them.
I've closed out one or two just to supplement Al's diet.
Yeah, alligator down there in the middle of the property. So, you've taken a couple, but it's not like we just go blasting them for the hell of it.
No, dude.
We just let them do their thing.
And you got 2,000 acres, and where do they hang out? Right on the roads. Right on the roads in the morning when you're going to the stand. You know, if you don't want to get run over, don't be on the road.
This is their domain.
Kristen, I want you to weigh in on this because you're a big proponent for spaying and neutering your pets. Should we do something about these rabbits? Because people say, they fuck like rabbits. And they sure out here fucking a lot. So, what can we do to slow down the spread or the overpopulation of the rabbits, jackrabbits, and cottontails?
We're going to round them up and take them to the vet, get them fixed, bring them back.
God damn it. So now I'm going to get me a rabbit trailer.
Yeah.
But anyway, sad story. And then another sad story. There's lots of bad things happen around the compound here. I busted out my recorder this morning, and right when I was about to start talking, here comes a goddamn
woodpecker
pecking on the side of the house. They got about 15 holes over there that Teddy has patched up in the past, and this motherfucker starts beating on the house. And I'm thinking, man, there's been a lot of things that fucked up the podcast coming from 316 Gimmick Street. Sirens, ambulances, the police, helicopters, traffic, all kinds of bullshit. Well, we're out here in the middle of nowhere. I expect complete silence. And so this is finally the chance that this podcast has a chance to win an award because of the conditions. And here's the goddamn woodpecker fucking it up. So I told Teddy, I said, man, could you see fit to go out there with your over and under shotgun and scare that summit off? And Teddy goes out there strolling across the parking lot with his shotgun dangling from his right arm. Flip-flops and all. Looked like a modern-day Lucas McCain from The Rifleman. And he goes out there, and the woodpecker gives him a slip. Teddy shuffles on back in, pick up the recorders, about to start talking again, and the woodpecker goes back to work. So this time, Teddy takes a kayfabe route, goes around the other side of the house, ambush style. What happened, Teddy? I know, because you're just trying to fire a general shot in his direction to scare him off.
Yeah, knock loose a couple of tail feathers, and he got the hint. He probably, if I had to bet, he probably won't be coming back for a little while.
So it looks like you talked some sense into it.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, y'all know the first thing I do before I start any podcast is take a couple of Alpha Brain, because I need them. So thanks to Onnit, the fine folks who make Alpha Brain, who also make emulsified MCT oil. I know you guys are hearing a lot about emulsified MCT oils these days, and for good reason. It's one of the fastest sources for clean fuel for the body and the brain. It's one of the best ways to power up for your performance or kickstart a weight management program as well. And the secret behind emulsified MCT oil is the medium-chain triglycerides. These beneficial fats support a healthy brain and provide a vital source of energy. And, of course, no one is doing emulsified MCT oil like Onnit. It comes in 3 great flavors: coconut, vanilla, and strawberry. And here's the best part. It mixes easily into your morning coffee or afternoon iced tea without using a blender. Start in with a spoon, and you are good to go. So there's no mess, no cleanup, and that means Onnit's emulsified MCT oil is a no-brainer. You can also mix it into oatmeal or yogurt. And right now, if you go to Onnit.com/Steve, you can get Onnit's emulsified MCT oil for 12% off. And because it's Onnit, if you don't like it for any reason, You can get all your money back, no questions asked. So you ain't got nothing to lose. Go get yourself some emulsified MCT oil at onnit.com/Steve and take advantage of the 12% off. That's ONNIT.com/Steve. Y'all know how much I appreciate you listening to Unleashed every single week, and that's why we've created a new automated email system to make sure you never miss a single episode. Just go to PodcastOne.com/Steve Austin and sign up. We'll let you know exactly when a new show is out and who the guest is. So sign up now at PodcastOne.com/Steve Austin. That's PodcastOne.com/Steve Austin.
Steve Austin. Unleashed.
God dang, I was going to tell a story about how we drove over to Alvin, Texas, to UV Country, UVC Power Sports in Alvin, Texas. Man, y'all saw Buck the Mule. You see him every damn Sunday on Broken Skull Challenge, and you see him on my Twitter account. Man, we went down to UV Country in Alvin, Texas, and we're going to get Buck the Mule outfitted with a bunch of badass new stuff, a new roof, different tires, all kinds of accessories. You're taking the legendary dependability and durability of Kawasaki and making it even better. So we went down there to see Shannon Tracy. They're the gang doing the work on all my mules that I got, the two down here at the ranch and the one I keep over in California. And I knew it was going to be a hell of a trip because the night before the trip, we was in there eating dinner. Teddy had unleft, and we had to get up at 3 in the morning because we was going to leave at 4 in the morning sharp because it's a 265-mile drive each way. And we're driving my wife's BMW X5 running a radar detector. And I don't know what I was doing. I was fiddle fucking around in the kitchen. We was trying to get ready for bed because we needed to get some sleep. My wife was staying here to watch the dogs. And I was going to open a bottle of wine. I was going to have one glass of wine to help me go to sleep. And so I see the wine opener, the thing that unscrews the cork. And so I go to reach in there, and because I see the wine opener, so I just reached down into the drawer. But what I didn't see was the brand new laser sharp knife that I just bought Kristen over at Nagel's gun store, and it was pointing edge up. You can't see the edge of that blade when it's pointing the edge up. And I promptly put my goddamn thumb down on that son of a bitch and like, God damn it. I grabbed my finger and my wife comes to, what happened? What happened? I said, I cut this shit out of myself. Reaching down in to grab that fucking corkscrew. And son of a bitch, Kristen, let's make a note of this because, you know, I only got 10 fingers and through 51 years of life, here in a couple of days, 52 years of life, I've been able to maintain all of them. So if we could store the knives in a different place, not in the drawer with the wine opener, it was almost like sticking your hand in a mousetrap, Teddy. You're like, psst, oh, fuck. But when you stick your hand down on a blade, and here's how sharp that blade is. If you just press it on something, like when we was cutting salmon the other day, it just cuts it. Just
it's
you don't
my
have
cooking
to.
Knife.
Don't even slice. Just push it down. It goes right through. Well, it went right through my thumb. So when I showed up with a big fucking bandage on my finger, I was like, God damn, here we go. And so my wife was making sandwiches, and she made 2 sandwiches. And but these weren't just regular sandwiches. You ate one of those motherfuckers. Those things had like 8 ounces of ham on them. They weren't sandwiches. Those was manwiches.
Wasn't there cucumbers on them, too?
No, pickles.
Pickles? Oh.
But cucumber,
sort of.
basically.
Same thing,
a
yeah.
pickled cucumber. So anyway, my wife was making sandwiches. She made 2 big-ass sandwiches, one for Ted, one for me. And then she starts thinking, you know, I think I should make you guys 2 more because I know you. You don't like to stop anywhere. You just want to drive. And I said, yeah, you know, you're right. So she made 4 sandwiches, 4 manwiches, ham and cheese for me and Teddy, whole wheat bread.
Pickles.
And with pickles. And then she puts them in saran wrap. She puts them in so much goddamn saran wrap, it looked like they was shrink wrapped. And she's wrapping them in different directions. She'll wrap them north-south and then east-west. So that comes into play. And I'm thinking, why don't you just put them in Ziploc bags? It'd be the easy thing to do. That's why they invented Ziploc bags, to put sandwiches in them. People, blue-collar people, white-collar people, for years and years and years been using a Ziploc bag to put their sandwiches in, but no. You got to wrap them in saran wrap. Now, before I want Teddy to jump in here, because he's going to be riding shotgun all day. He's navigating. He's dishing out food, because that's what the shotgun passenger does. I said, Kristen, why don't you put them in Ziploc bags? Why did you insist on saran wrap?
I don't know.
Because you're OCD. you're gonna be just like your mother.
I didn't want the sandwiches to fall apart. If you put them in a ziplock, they would have room to move, and then maybe the pickles would fall off.
Not in a regular size sandwich size Ziploc.
Were they good?
They were also.
Yeah, they don't wrap a mummy that tight.
So here's the thing, this is like I told the story the other day about FaceTiming Teddy at the Tractor Supply trying to buy a bucket. Guys don't FaceTime guys. But also, like when you're riding down the road, it's like me and Teddy are friends. We're good friends. But it's like, hey, man, could you hand me a sandwich? And I was going to open the thing by myself, but he can realize that we're driving at a very high rate of speed. I would not go so far to say we're speeding. I would just say we're exceeding the posted speed limit, and we're running a radar detector. And the wind is whistling over the car.
And I'm not in the car, so you had to have been going fast.
I'm just saying we might have exceeded the speed limit on certain parts of the trip. And, we had to been because the radar detector was going crazy. K-band. More on that in a minute. So I got to ask Teddy. I said, hey, man, could you hand me one of them sandwiches? Teddy realizes at the rate of speed we're going and the people that we're passing, after everything that he's seen, he's remained cool, calm, and collected. But I know the last thing he wants me to do is be fucking with a saran wrap sandwich that my wife wrapped like a mummy, taking my hands off the steering wheel or driving with my knees. Teddy, what were your thoughts?
Dude, I went to unwrap that sandwich, and I looked at you, and I said, motherfucker, you about got to be a safe cracker to get into this fucking thing. You're right. Saran wrap went north-south, and then once you ferreted through that, then you're going east and west. And, here we are. Like you said, we're good friends, man. We do a lot of shit together. But making each other, unwrapping our sandwiches, that borders right on. That's right on the cusp of being a little too chummy. So here's a guy that doesn't want his food to touch. I'm trying not to touch your shit. I about need a Sawzall to get all this fucking saran wrap off. And I got it about 2/3 of the way done. And I was like, here, dude, I'll hold it. You unwrap the rest of it so I don't accidentally touch it. Oh, shit.
God
I didn't even realize I did that.
Well, I did, but it was late. Here's the thing. When my wife starts getting sleepy, it's a whole game changer. She just shuts down. It's almost like a walker on The Walking Dead. She's like, hey. I love my wife to death, but, man, just like last night, you started getting cranky. Sending a damn message to the lady that's helping us with the remodel. And she goes, 3 very terse sentences. She's reading them to me. I'm like, that may be a little stiff. And then she starts getting me, well, what do you want me to say? I'm like, you can say the same thing, honey, whatever you want. So, she wasn't cussing in the text message. It was just kind of like to the point. They're like, you ain't got to beat around the bush.
I want this remodel done by the time we get home, okay?
Yeah.
Come on now.
Here's the thing. We started thinking about this. If the remodel isn't finished by the time we get back, there's only one logical thing to do, Teddy.
Turn around and come back to the ranch.
No, not even turn around. Because you know that the remodel ain't done. Just extend the stay here by 1 to 7 weeks.
Correct. I'll shut down my business longer and hang out with you guys.
You see the way I put that 1 to 7 weeks on there? Yeah.
Because I'm ready to get back to Zumba.
She's ready to get back to Zumba. And for a while, when you first get down here, it takes a while to dial in.
Right.
But now that I'm down here, I'm like totally dialed in, and I don't want to leave because no sirens, no helicopters, no traffic, no horse shit. Hell, the other day, I've been riding my Kawasaki mules everywhere, but I got in my Ford Bronco, and I was making a turn to go down to Stone Cold. Hell, I put my left blinker on. Fuck, I'm so fucking shit. Here's the thing, Teddy. On our journey to UV country to go check on Buck the Mule, and we got on Buck the Mule, and we went mud hogging with Shannon and Tracy. We did the whole gamut over there and looked at all the badass units. But on the way to Alvin, Texas, it's 265 there, it's 265 miles back. How many times do you think I changed lanes?
Oh, shit. Hundreds.
Okay. How many times did I use my blinker when I changed lanes?
Every single time.
The only time I didn't use my blinker was when that one cocksucker, I was in the left lane, they were in the right, they crossed over my lane and shot across the exit ramp.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
I crossed over into the right lane and didn't use my blinker that one time to indicate that I was getting the fuck out of dipshit's way because he didn't see me or didn't give a fuck about me or realized the fact that he almost killed a global icon, a national treasure, and a local icon and a local treasure from South Texas, Ted Fowler 361. That's the only time I didn't use my blinker. And me and Kristen went to San Antonio the other day. I thought it maybe was a Los Angeles thing. Everybody trying to be a big star over there. No one wants to use their blinkers. But no, it's a South Texas thing too. People just don't give a fuck. We was riding down Highway 59. People driving BMWs, Mercedes-Benz, Suburbans, Denali's, every kind of car you can think of. I thought everybody was trying to be fancy because they had their fucking nose up in there in Los Angeles and the Beverly Hills area. Out here in South Texas, nobody wants to use their blinkers. Teddy, were you surprised at all at the lack of blinkers? Because there's a couple of idiots. We were worried about going up and down there. I always worry when I got to get on the roads, especially when you go through some of those construction areas that we went through in Houston, because there's a little bit of cattywampus there, 40 miles out of Houston, that construction on the highway. Dude, there's dipshits everywhere. I don't understand it because sometimes you can see a crash somewhere on the side of the road and you're like, how does this happen? It's a 2-lane highway. Everybody's going the same directions. How do you fuck that up?
Dude, we saw 2 vehicles that had overturned on the way there.
Yeah.
Remember that? One on either side of the road. Now, you go through those construction zones, and, you know, it's bumper-to-bumper traffic. Nobody's going anywhere fast. There is a 20-foot gap, you know, between 2 cars, and some dipshit, you know, does a real abrupt lane change to gain, you know, 4 feet.
Yeah.
You know, no, it's stupid. I mean, people... It doesn't amaze me that people don't use their blinker, but it pisses me off.
It's like when we were about 25 miles out. We were on Texas Highway 6, and the one chick was behind us in the white Range Rover.
Yeah.
And, boy, she was right on my ass. I'm thinking, man, maybe I ought to brake her. Just kind of tap the brakes, give her a little heads up. Hey, motherfucker, I'm right in front of you. Do you not see me? You're kind of getting in my zone here. And so, sure enough, there's traffic on the right-hand lane. There's 3 lanes going our way. And, of course, she decides, fuck it, it's not safe, but I'm going to swing out past this cocksucker with the bald head and the goatee and the idiot that's riding beside him and cut him off.
Yeah.
So that's what she did.
Yep.
No offense, Teddy, but I'm just thinking what she had to be thinking. She didn't need to do that. What did she gain by passing us and taking up the safe zone that I was in? Because I was probably about 2 or 3 car lengths away from the car in front of me, so I was kind of pushing the envelope, but not like she was on my ass. I might as well have hooked her up to my trailer hitch so I could save her some fucking gas. Give me a hunk when you want me to drop you off at your fucking location.
Dude, if you remember, after she passed us and got in front of us, she went about a quarter mile and then changed back to the right-hand lane and then fell in behind all the other slower traffic, and zoop, we went past her again. And, you know, it was like, man, what's the purpose? Why go like hell to get in front of us and then to change lanes and slow down and you know, just stage up behind regular traffic?
I thought she thought we was a full-service moving gas station. I was going to have Teddy pop the back hatch, wash your windshield, hand her one of those sandwiches, and tell her to back the fuck off because she's pissing Steve Austin off.
Better let me start unwrapping it now. Yeah, speed up. I need to unwrap this thing.
She'd have really made it personal when I see the 3 pickle slices that my wife put on there, and she throws those out the window. And I said, oh, fuck. She just threw the pickles my lovely wife put on those sandwiches for me and Teddy, and now she made it personal. Y'all know what happens when shit gets personal with me. There got to be a payback. Pickles on the side of the road. Those are Klaus's. Those were fancy pickles. Yeah, traffic just unbelievable. So we get over to UV country, and me and Teddy are early. So I pull over to the gas station because I'm ready. You know, I'm going to have a full tank of gas by the time we leave there. And most of the time when you pull over to little gas stations on the side of the road, at least on Highway 6 in Texas, right outside of Alvin, you'd think it'd have a drive-through car wash. So I told Teddy, I said, man, I'm going to gas up because when we're through, we're going to haul ass. We're making tracks, radar detector leading the way. And I run a Beltronics 300 radar detector. Everybody always asks me, it's a Beltronics 300. That motherfucker works like gold, except when it goes laser alert. Laser alert. Ain't nobody using no lasers. I remember when they come out with the laser feature on the radar detectors, everybody said, oh, got to get one for the laser. Got to get one for the laser. They ain't using no laser out there. So anyway.
And you have about 3 of them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because sometimes I'll leave one in California. I said, well, I'm going to go ahead and buy one. It's going to save me what's going to cost.
I'm like, why do we have to buy another radar detector?
I'm going to open an eBay store, use radar detectors. And I'm going to sign them. So I pull over to the gas station, put the gas in, and I think, well, goddamn, where's the drive-through car wash? I told Teddy, I said, I'm driving through the car wash, score some brownie points with Kristen. And there ain't no fucking car wash. I was madder than a hornet. So we get back and go to UV country.
You said, hey, man, you want a Red Bull? And I said, yeah, dude, I'm cool with that. So you come back into the vehicle, and you had one of the big, we usually drink the 8-ounces, the smaller ones. Yeah. You go, hey, dude, they didn't have any small ones. We're going to have to split this 12-ouncer. I'm like, straws? You know?
It was a rib. I had the other one in the other hand, but me and Teddy don't drink after each other. We don't drink. I drink after my wife. That's about the only human being on planet Earth I would drink after. I would probably drink after someone else if there was a dire emergency. But other than that, so you can just see me and Teddy. I'm clocking in about 275 pounds right now, one of the toughest individuals to ever walk planet Earth. And you got Ted Fowler, 361. The ultimate guy coming from South Texas. Let me take a sip. Here you go, Teddy.
Yeah, you want to bite a sandwich?
Boy, you know something has gone wrong, or we're too good of friends when we're splitting sandwiches in a Red Bull.
Yeah, maybe we needed to spend a little time apart.
We get over there to UV country, and we're early. We're supposed to be there at 9 o'clock. I told Shannon, I said, we'll be there between 9 and 10. I said, the reason I can't be more specific than that is because I can't judge Houston traffic. But when we pulled out of here, well, first of all, when my alarm went off at 3 a.m., I had been up the whole night. I don't know whether I was excited to go to UV country. It's kind of like Chevy chasing that kid going to Wally World. I told Ted, when we get there, we're going to run across the parking lot, slow motion, the chariots of fire. So I didn't sleep worth a flying shit. And, boy, I woke up. I was like, God damn, what hit me? I go into the bathroom. I get my Visine. I just started dumping that shit in. My eyes are redder than fuck. Got all gussied up, put my jeans on, my best camouflage shirt, my Carhartt. Goddamn, you got to have a Carhartt. Here, a quick segue. I came over here to the cleaning station yesterday, Teddy. I took my Carhartt off to clean that deer, and then I was going back to pick up Kristen, who was over in a different deer stand, and my jacket was laying over there on the stainless steel counter. And, you know, we don't like to leave nothing behind as far as firearms and stuff like that. You never know if someone's going to come steal them. I was looking at it. I ain't going to let somebody steal that fucking jacket.
There's nobody here to steal it.
But you never know.
Right.
So I picked up my jacket, put it in the back of the mule, said, I ain't going to let nobody take that motherfucker. So anyway, me and Teddy get over to UV country. Ain't nobody there yet. So we're just riding down. It's a big-ass compound.
You got there, what, 7:30?
No, we got there. We'd have been there at 8:15 had I not stopped the gas and fiddle fuck around. So we're driving around looking at all the Mahindra tractors, all the trailers, and looking at all the damn units they got out there. And it's just a super compound. It's probably the best dealership I've ever seen. And they specialize in side-by-side stuff and customize and outfit those things. So that's why we're there. That's why we were there. They delivered my other 2 units. And so we're giving ourselves the guided tour. And then finally we go on in, and Shannon greets us and gives us a whole tour. We meet everybody there. It was really cool. And we filmed some stuff inside the dealership talking about how cool the mules are, all the stuff that they do, all the features that you can get. And she says, I think it's about a 15-acre compound, give or take. Yeah. And she goes, Steve, we got a track out in the back. You want to get on Buck? Because my mule is there. I shipped it in from California. Do you want to get in Buck and go ride around on the track? It's going to be muddy. We can do some four-wheeling. I said, hell yeah. I said, shit, if y'all going to wash it. That's the reason we'll drive our shit around out here in the mud, because we got to wash it, and then I'm tearing my roads up. But they have a track specifically for this. And she goes, oh, but first, do you want to go across the road here and get on that knoll up there between the highways and look back at the dealership? I said, well, yeah. So I put that thing in four-wheel drive low and just climb right up that big-ass hill between the highways. and I did a U-turn. I think Shannon thought I was going to go crazy up there. She goes, be careful, be careful. I'm like, yeah, what do you think I'm going to do? Turn us over? And so we pointed back towards the dealership and turned the key off, just looking back at UV country. It was like looking at Wally World. And all of a sudden, we're just sitting there looking around. Hey, man, it's cool, checking out, looking at all the features. And then someone comes by and they honk their horn at us. I'm going to say, goddamn, I guess they recognize me. What happened, Teddy?
That kid's filming and that truck goes by honking.
Because we're rolling footage here. We're making a big video of this. You'll be able to see all this at uvcountry.com. You'll be able to see the guided tour that I got. Teddy's included. I threw him in there. He didn't want to participate. I made him participate. Ted has a SAG insurance card, so he probably went against the union here, but he's in the video. So we're videoing all this, and we're going to video the entire build of Buck the Mule, and you'll be able to see that on uvcountry.com. But anyway, so we're up there. I'm driving. Shannon's riding shotgun. Teddy's in the back, and the horn honks at us. So I waved to him. I said, goddamn, I don't know how they recognize me. They was 50 yards away, going 75 miles an hour. I don't know how they recognized me. It must have been the goatee. What happened, Teddy?
Dude, I'm laughing my ass off because you're talking to the camera and that horn goes a honking and you're waving, hey! And I'm going, dude, that ain't no fan. That's the guy from Texas TxDOT, the Department of Transportation. We ain't supposed to be up here. Yeah, that son of a bitch is looking to try to pull off the road and you're just waving away. Going,
hey, man, if the camera's rolling, never let them see you sweat. If we got to run for the law, we'll run from the law after we get through filming what we got to film. Hey, we're going to take a pause for the calls. More stories from Ted Fowler and myself as we make the comeback down to the Broken Skull Ranch from UV Country, UVC Power Sports in Alvin, Texas, where Shannon Trace and the gang are outfitting Buck the Mule with a bunch of cool stuff. And once again, before we go to commercial break, you'll be able to see the entire video, all the stuff there, the build from start to finish, time-lapse photography on Buck the Mule. Coming right back with Ted Fowler 361 and my illustrious wife, Kristen, who makes the best ham and cheese sandwiches, manwiches. That ain't no fucking sandwich, that's a manwich. And then proceeds to wrap them in a fucking...
I'm still laughing about that.
You can't break it. You almost can't get into them.
They would survive. Those in a Twinkie, they would survive the nuclear blast.
Boy, I tell you what, they used to put Harry Houdini. They'd handcuff him and dip him in a lake, and he'd try to get out. If you put Harry Houdini, you chained him up, and you dropped him in head first, and you had to unwrap that sandwich, I don't know, some bitch would make it. Coming right back with Ted Fowler and my wife. All right, got to thank another fine sponsor of the Steve Austin podcast who's making it pretty dang comfortable to sit in front of this mic twice a week and open 2 cans of audio whoop-ass for you. MeUndies. Yep, I said it, MeUndies. They sent me a damn box load of the camouflage MeUndies, the ones that are made out of that Motel fabric. I know you're saying, what the F is Motel, and why should I give a rat's ass about it? Why? Because it's 3 times softer than cotton. That's why you should smarten up about it. And MeUndies ain't lying. These are about the softest, most comfortable underwear I've ever worn. I also wear them when I'm playing my clarinet. So now I can sit here down at the Broken Skull Ranch in comfort while I podcast and while I sit in the deer stand. So for the price of about 2 cocktails, you can have MeUndies delivered right to your front door. And you can experience exactly what I'm experiencing. And MeUndies offers free shipping in the U.S. and Canada. And if these ain't the most comfortable, best-feeling underwear you've ever worn, MeUndies will refund your money and let you keep your first pair for free. But I'm telling you, you ain't going to return these, and that's why for a limited time, my listeners also get this great deal. 20% off your first order when you go to MeUndies.com/Steve Austin. Did you get that? MeUndies.com/Steve Austin to get 20% off your first order and free shipping in the U.S. and Canada. One more time for the hearing impaired. MeUndies.com/Steve Austin. If you're in the market for a car, then you need to check out TrueCar.com and the TrueCar app. TrueCar gives you the pricing information you need to feel confident about your purchase. When you register with TrueCar, you'll see what other people in your local market paid for the car you want. From there, you can connect with a local TrueCar certified dealer and enjoy a more confident car buying experience. TrueCar shows you real pricing on actual inventory, so you see competitive pricing offered to you by TrueCar certified dealers for vehicles that are actually on their lots. TrueCar makes car buying easy, no matter if you're looking for a brand new or a used vehicle. There are over 500,000 pre-owned vehicles available from TrueCar certified dealers nationwide, and there are over 13,000 TrueCar certified dealers. And over 2 million cars have been sold to TrueCar users by the TrueCar certified dealer network. TrueCar users save an average of over $3,000 off MSRP. So when you're ready to buy a new or used car, visit TrueCar.com or download the TrueCar app to enjoy a better car buying experience. Some features not available in all states. All right, here we are. Road trip. Ted Fowler 361, myself, making a trip up to Alvin, Texas, to UVC Power Sports. Get Buck the Mule all fixed up, better than ever. A bunch of new lighting, upgrades, and stuff like that. You'll be able to check that out at uvcountry.com. Goddamn, Ted, the whole time we was going up there, I was telling you, and like my wife has already said, I got a collection of radar detectors.
Right.
I don't collect any antique radar detectors because the technology ain't up to grade. But it's funny because they got the X-band, they got the K-band, and they got the laser. I don't think the laser's worth the shit because I don't think nobody's using laser. Because here's the thing, when you're using radar, I think it's a broader pattern. But you got to be real specific with that laser point. It's like having one of those lighted pins. Right. So, I think it's a little bit harder to dial in on somebody. But nonetheless, I don't think anybody's running laser. If there's any highway patrol or police officers out there that are running laser, please send me a shout-out that you are to questions@steveaustinShow.com so that I know that the laser detector is not lying to me. We may have exceeded the speed limit a few times. I was telling Teddy, sometimes the X-band will go off. A lot of times when you're passing through a town, a lot of stores around, they're picking up alarm systems. So the X-band don't really mean too much. I don't never worry when the X-band comes on because that's usually not a police officer. But the K-band, when it goes K-band, 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 just like that. I told Teddy, I said, the first month I had this motherfucker, because I don't hear very good, I thought that somebody was saying caveman. Caveman. I was like, what the fuck? Why is it a caveman? Or were they calling me a caveman? What does it mean? I just knew when it said caveman, you might get a ticket, so I slowed the fuck down. I fucking had to read the manual. It was a K-band. I got to get a set of hearing aids. But the alarm went off so many times. How many highway patrols and such did we see, Teddy? I mean, there was a shit pile. I would say between 15 and 20 probably. Easy. Yeah. Man, those areas coming in and out of Victoria through Goliad, past Wharton on the way to Houston. Yep. Man, I mean, those were real hot spots. And it's almost like I was in stealth mode because I just kind of knew. I said, man, I know something's up because you could pass one and have the radar detector go off. And like, man, I know there's going to be a backup when we're 10 miles down the road. That happened a couple times in that Goliad area.
Mm-hmm. Tell you, what does he do when that radar detector goes off?
Steps on the brake.
Yeah. Hard.
When it just jumps on, I'll make, no. It doesn't happen on the radar. When the radar happens, I just barely tap the brakes and we slow down. What happens is when my phone rings, when my wife calls me because of the ringer setting that I have her on, normally my phone does the old school phone ring that you used to hear 20 years ago. Ring, ring. I'm going to do that one more in case you didn't get the first time. Ring, ring. When my wife calls, it's on that it sounds like K-band. So, man, when my wife calls me, she called me about 3 times, I jump on that brake pedal. Teddy hit his head on the windshield about 2 times. He's rubbing that knot on his head. He goes, I sure wish your wife wouldn't call him.
Well, I was going to start texting Ted to say, let Steve know I'm going to be calling him.
Hey, I'm bracing myself. Your wife's about to call. Boy, I tell you what, I mean, there's not a quicker reaction on planet Earth. Usain Bolt at the 100-meter starting line, when they say go, he hauls ass. When I hear that, I'm right on that brake pedal, because I'll be damned if my lovely wife is kind of mimicking that damn radar detector, man. Caveman. And we heard the caveman so much, man. Like, people know that I don't sleep very well. I don't hear very well. I got a shitty life, don't I? I went to sleep that night, had a glass of wine to calm my nerves. It had been a long trip, and we made it back in record time because we made it in time to go get in a deer stand. But that night, I had several times I woke up, K-Man, K-Man, K-Man. And my wife like, K-Man. And I'm like, oh, shit, honey, I went back. I was having a flashback. I had a little PTSD from the trip.
And he's getting that jumpy leg thing going on.
Goddamn, I'm hitting a false break. Hershey, the wonder dog, usually sleeps down by my feet. And I'm like, cat, 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 cat. Hershey's like, what the fuck? It's a K-Man, motherfucker, K-Man.
Well, every time I hear your phone go off, I brace myself.
Holy shit. So anyway, it was a great trip. And then on the way back, I don't think anything eventful happened on the way back. I mean, man, I tell you what, we was whistling through those towns. I think we made it back in quicker time than we made it there.
Correct.
Because I was just trying to pace myself. I knew if I kept driving at the rate of speed that I was driving when we was going through the towns leaving here through Goliad, before I slowed her down a little bit on 59 and Victoria area, we would have got there at 7:30.
What'd you two talk about for 4 hours in the car?
We didn't talk about much. We just sat there.
About bad drivers.
Yeah. When someone would fuck up, we would say, God damn, can you believe that stupid motherfucker?
Well, dude, when we took off in the morning, it was dark, so you got to drive slow because of the deer.
Yeah.
I mean, luckily there wasn't any fog, but, you still got the deer feeding on the side of the road.
We only saw a couple of deer, but we was very leery about that because, man, the last thing I wanted to do, we're on a mission to go to UV country, and I just like, man, it's not like the BMW X5 is really geared to take a deer right in the grill going X amount of miles per hour.
Yeah.
You notice I never really say how many miles per hour. That's a key part of kayfabe here, Teddy.
Hey, Kristen, we couldn't get the car washed for you, but we got you a new hood ornament.
What'd you get? Well, it's like a buck. There's a nice 10-point buck on your grill. He's in your grill. Well, I'd be in the shits to watch that radiator fluid leak out, to be busted up on the side of the road, have to call a tow truck, and then we're in a tow truck with a BMW on the back, and we're still going to UV country. I got the tow truck driver running radar. We're trying to get there, but it was a safe trip. On the way back, we stopped. We didn't stop. The last thing we didn't even stop to take a leak. Mm-mm. I mean, we took care of business. The gas tank was full, and we hauled ass. And then finally, we started getting within striking distance of the Broken Skull Ranch. I think it was about 100 miles out. And I was whistling down that highway, Chris, and I think it was right out of Beeville. And there was one of those little roadside things. Someone got a Morgan building, and they were selling hamburgers out there. And right when that thing flashed by, I said, you see that? And Teddy, he's looking in the rearview mirror. It's a hamburger stand. I said, you want to stop and get a hamburger?
What'd you say? A Diablo sandwich?
Teddy's thinking, I'm good. I don't know how clean those things are. But there's two people walking around out there in the parking lot. They're selling burgers and sandwiches and stuff. And I was like,
what is this?
It's a goddamn metal storage shed.
Like one of those little gimmick buildings on the side of the road. They were selling homemade hamburgers and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a real mom and pop operation, to say the least. But I mean, we whistled about it. Somebody said, Ted, you hungry?
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Like we're going to back. I don't know if I got enough brake pads to slow this thing down, the speed we're going. But all of a sudden, you want to turn this bitch around and just park in there and eat in the car.
Did it have one of those ABC letters on the outside of it?
No,
I didn't see that.
I could be like maybe they would bring our food to us on a tray. And it's like Chevy Chase and Vacation, when they hang the tray on the window back in the day. And he goes, new car. He hangs this stuff on the window and it breaks. Anyway, I was going to say, Teddy, I'm going to go back. I'm going to tell the lady, I said, I want a Diablo sandwich and a Diet Dr. Pepper ×2. I'm in a goddamn hurry. We whistle by that son of a bitch.
I hope people know who you're imitating.
That's Jackie Gleason smoking the bandit. And if you don't think I'm crazy, and you probably don't think I'm crazy, just think I'm stupid as fuck. It's an old movie called Smoking the Bandit. If you've never seen it, I highly suggest you watch it. I'll tell you what, I'll suggest you watch it when I wrap up the show at the end of the podcast. But we came back. It was a great trip. Thank you, Shannon Tracy, for the hospitality. Everybody up there, UV Country was awesome to us, and I look forward to seeing what Buck the Mule looks like. We got back to the ranch where problems still exist.
Correct.
What are the problems that are existing out here? One of them, Teddy, that I want to focus on before we jump into your stuff is we still have a skunk at large. And I got a bunch of emails to questions at steveaustonshow.com for suggesting different ways to catch that skunk. And I appreciate all your emails. And, Teddy, if we set that live trap at one of the entrances there if we can put some cat food in there. They love cat food, and we have some.
Yes.
We bought it at the store specifically for the skunk.
Ted did, actually.
Oh, you did? Yeah. Okay. I'm wondering, why not make skunk food? Well, because nobody has a pet skunk. I already answered my own question. Check out the big brain on Steve. Line out of Pulp Fiction. So we still got a skunk at large, and I was worried about putting the skunk in a live trap, and then you walk up to the live trap, and the skunk's going to spray you, or if it's just going to start spraying like a fucking crazed maniac because it realizes it's in a trap. I don't think the skunk will realize it's really in a trap, but it just realizes it can't go where it wants to go. People said to walk up to the trap with a blanket in front of you, and drape it over, and maybe pre-tie a string onto the release door so you ain't got to walk up to it and try to release the skunk. But anyway, if you cover the trap with a blanket, put it in the back of your mule, drive it to the desired location, that way it won't spray you. You can transport it safely and not cause it any harm. So I got a bunch of emails like that. Teddy's kind of looking at me or looking around with this glazed look. I don't know if he got a fucking hangover or you got a better suggestion on this skunk. What's your plan of attack?
No,
my point is, he's down there, he's gnawing at my house, and we've been stomping on the floor like this to get this motherfucker to settle down. You know what I'm going to do? Go ahead, give me your thoughts first.
No, I'm trying to, we're going to draw straws to see who picks up the trap and puts it in the back of the mule.
I own the ranch, I'll pick up the skunk. But, I'm gonna make me get a big-ass stick and put a damn hook on it. I'm going to put you in your hazmat suit. No, I can handle that, but, you got a better way to get rid of them? Because the other day when I was just making sure my gun was empty the other day, I was racking a bolt on my 308, and Kristen goes, "You're not going to go down there and shoot that skunk, are you?" Like, are you fucking crazy? I'm not just going to get my 308 and start blasting underneath the house. Kristen, I'm a fanatical about gun safety. You just can't just go, there's plumbing stuff over there, there's electricity.
We just heard the skunk, and then he...
Yeah, I'm just going to start pointing at the floor. Bam, bam, bam. Take that, you motherfucker. Say hello to my little friend.
Well, you're full of movie quotes today.
My life is a movie. A really fucking shitty movie. Ted, any thoughts on how to relocate this skunk? Oh, Ted wants to, he wants to be out there alone. He wants to be Lucas McCain. This motherfucker going to have an accident. We can't use the shotgun on the skunk to pepper him to scare him away.
No, I could whack him with that 22, but Mitch said soon as you shoot him. Get him in the live trap, and then I could, run one through.
I can't kill a skunk out here at the Broken Skull Ranch.
Dude, I can.
I'm winking at Ted.
No, we're not shooting the skunk.
Yeah, no, but Mitch said, dude, you can't shoot it because they're, that reaction to getting shot is to.
A lot of times when I get shot, I just shit too.
I can't blame you.
Oh, I've been shot. I better shit. That's what he's thinking. He's going to leave his mark behind. It's going to be like his last rib against you.
That's it.
Oh, the motherfucker's going to shoot me. Take that. There you go, motherfucker.
Dude, we got to have video with this show.
I'm beat red. I just lifted my leg. In a minute, I'm going to piss in the corner. Got to take a minute here to thank another fine sponsor of the Steve Austin Show, and it's a sponsor that's going to help y'all get a good night's sleep. Boll & Branch. You need more than just a damn good mattress if you want to sleep like a champion. You need comfortable, soft bedding to ensure you make the most of your comfy mattress. And thanks to Boll & Branch, you can sleep on luxury sheets for a fraction of the cost. Boll & Branch bedding and blankets are made from pure 100% organic cotton, which makes them really, really soft. And you buy everything directly from Boll & Branch, so you're basically paying wholesale prices. I've seen the price of luxury seats. They can set you back about $1,000 in the store. But with Boll & Branch, you can get luxury sheets delivered right to your front door for just a couple $100. And people love these sheets. Boll & Branch has thousands of 5-star reviews. Even 3 U.S. presidents and a global icon and national treasure sleep on Boll & Branch sheets. And here's the best part. You can try them for 30 nights. If you don't love them, you can send them back for a refund. And to get you started, Boll & Branch is giving you $50 off your first set of sheets when you order at bollandbranch.com and use the promo code Steve. That's bollandbranch.com and use the promo code Steve to get $50 off your first set of sheets and free shipping. What are the problems we got out here other than skunk, Teddy?
Goddamn dog tore up that chair while I was gone. Had a little separation anxiety.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. A long time ago, we was over in England, and we were at Wembley. What's that famous building over there? Royal Albert Hall. What's it called?
I have no idea.
Anyway, it's one of the most famous buildings you can play in England. Royal Albert.
Wembley Stadium?
No, it's not Wembley. It was a small, intimate place that many people. It's been around forever. So anyway, we're working in this coveted place in the UK, which I can't remember because I have been hitting the head with so many steel chairs. I apologize to my fans in the UK. But Big Van Vader took it upon himself to destroy this table that was in the kind of the dressing room area or the hall area where you come in. And he just destroyed this thing because it can be part of the show. Well, the table was about 1,000 years old. It was a super expensive antique. It just looked like a piece of balsa wood when Leon finished with it. He just thought he was being cool, riling up the fans or impressing people. No, I think the table cost Vince about $20,000. So he took that one in the shorts. Back to the story I was talking about. What was I getting to?
Oh, the dog tearing up the chair.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, we have this chair over there in the double wide where Ted stays out here, and that chair was about 150 years old. It was a precious antique, covered in the finest white cotton material known to man with some great foam underneath. The chair wasn't. I wanted to throw that chair away about 9 months ago, Teddy, but my wife wouldn't let me. She said, no, it looks fine there, just leave it alone. So.
Well, Tula likes sleeping on it.
But Teddy decided, where'd you go? You go back to Rockport?
You had to go to Rockport.
Yeah.
So I was in charge of the dogs.
So
that happened when we went to Alvin.
No, it was when you went to Rockport.
Yeah, because you sent me a text
when
we were in the showroom.
So what happened? Did the dog just go AWOL because you had anxiety because you was gone?
It doesn't. Dog acts totally normal when I'm around. I don't know what your wife did to her.
Crazy.
When you're around. See, that's the thing. All of a sudden you leave. The most, okay, I ain't got no rabbits to kill. I'll attack the chair.
Maybe she thought there was a rabbit inside of the chair. I don't know. No, we were walking through the showroom getting the nickel tour of that place, and then, boop, 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 goes my phone, and Kristen sends me a text saying somebody's in trouble, and there's my, beautiful young pup sitting down, for a photo op, and that chair behind her has got a big basketball-sized hole chewed in it, foam everywhere. It's like, oh, fuck.
I see Ted over there looking at his damn pitch. He's trying to kayfabe me. He don't want to drop the news on me that the priceless chair has been destroyed. So that was a tight moment. But other than that, I think, is everything good out here?
Everything's good if I will text you more clearly.
Oh, dude. A great way to kind of bring this podcast to a close. So it's been raining out here at the Broken Skull Ranch, and there's only a couple of deer stands that you can get to without tearing the roads up. And again, I'm running Kawasaki out here. You can't get these things stuck. I just don't like tearing up my roads. So I have another unit out here, another buggy that was been here for a long time. And it's been broken down for a long time. It's been sitting in the damn barn over there with a trickle charger on it. I said, man, let's get this son of a bitch running so I can sell it. And I was able to crank it up. Teddy had cranked it up the day before. I said, well, fuck, I'll take it out on a little drive. So I went down to West Fence Line, put 6 miles on it, came back, and I said, hey, man, things running okay. And you said, well, I'll take it out when I go in the evening. Go ahead, Teddy.
Well, like I said, it had been raining, so I went hunt Motel 6.
But I thought you said you was going to walk in. So that's why I was surprised when you were there with the buggy. I thought you said you were walking in.
I walked in from the parking area. I went.
God, damn, the parking area is 20 feet from the fucking stand.
Dude, I'm up to speed with my cardio. I don't need to get too crazy with that. No, I did tell you I was going to walk in because I thought the road would be shitty.
Yeah.
And then once I got, one wheel in the middle, one wheel on the shoulder, and it was better driving than what I thought. So I drove it all the way up to the parking area, got into the blind, did battle with all those yellow jackets. That's when I put them all in that bowl. Had my hunt disrupted by that hog.
Oh, yeah, blame it on the hog.
Well, no, and it's one of those things where the pastures are wet, we barely want to drive on the roads. We sure as hell don't want to go out into the field, and pick up a downed animal, because those are going to be even worse. Hog comes out, meets with unfortunate turn of events. I sent Steve a text saying, hey, my hunt has been blown. Hog came out, I'm out of here. And then I walked back to the buggy, and I went to start it up, and it would not start. And I sent him a text saying, hey, we got big hassles here at M6.
And so I get the text. I'm sitting in my lazy boy. I'm watching a football game. I get the text message. We got big hassles here. Well, I'm thinking the rut's about to start. I'm thinking he's got $2, $3 out there fighting their asses off. We got hassle. I'm thinking, goddamn, he's having a good hunt.
Yeah, no, and I didn't hear anything back. I'm sitting there in the buggy, it won't start, and I thought, you always text back real fast, and nothing, and I thought, shit, man, now he's pissed because I shot that hog.
I don't know that you shot a hog. You just said we got hassles. I'm thinking that you got a bunch of deer out there fighting like a motherfucker, and then all of a sudden, 5 minutes later, there's a picture of Instagram with a bunch of yellow jackets and a paper bowl.
So
I keep those paper bowls in the deer stands because when I take Hershey hunting, I pour water in there so she's got water. So Kristen says,
there's the hassle. He's killing these wasps.
yeah, a bunch of yellow jackets. Now, Kristen did a bunch of research, so she won't call them yellow jackets anymore. She calls them wasps. There's a bunch of yellow jackets in a bowl. It's like he's going to pour some milk on them like a bunch of Cheerios and eat them. And I'm thinking, okay, there's the hassles he speaks of. But no.
Well, you didn't reply, and I thought, God,
well, you got hassled. I'm thinking you're so busy videoing these badass deer, I don't want to bother you.
No, I thought, shit, he's pissed off, man. Now I better go drag that hog closer so we don't have to drive out, into the pasture and muddy that up. And I tried that for a little while, and then I did realize that perhaps my cardio was lacking a little bit. And it's starting to get dark, and I'm like, you know what, this is bullshit. And I walked back to the buggy again and turn the key, and it won't start. And now it's, me, I'm going to get back to the house before it gets dark, especially if I'm on foot. Yeah. So I come walking back into the pavilion covered in mud, walked all the way back, and I take my shoes off and I walk into the house, and I get here, by the kitchen table, and I don't see either one of you guys.
Oh, you came in? I thought I met you at the door.
No, because you guys were, I walked back out, because I walked in and I thought, shit, I didn't know if, it'd been a while since you guys had seen each other or something, get that going on. I don't need to walk in on that. So I turned around and walked back outside, and I'm standing in the pavilion, and then I called you. And you're in the...
I got my phone on silence because I'd been in the deer stand and never took it off silence, so it wasn't ringing.
Dude, I called you, and you're like, yo, man, what's up? And I'm like, are you here? And you're like, yeah, dude, I'm in the bedroom. And I'm like, well, fuck, dude, respond to your text. And you're like, what happened? I said, I fucking walked back. The buggy's broke down. He's like, oh, shit.
The goddamn piece of shit buggy broke. This is the old buggy. And so it's broke down. And see, here's the thing. If you have a faulty piece of equipment, we can't say, okay, I'll take it out for the evening hunt. Because if it's been broke down and we don't know it's fixed, but it ran for a little bit, it's probably not a prudent decision to take that thing out for the evening hunt. They're being stranded at dark. And then you have the asshole owner who's watching football, phone on silence. I got my head up my ass, and there's no going on over here. Although that I would love for some to happen. If you see me walking with that little strut in my step going to my mule, yeah, you'll know maybe something happened. But there wasn't none of that. So I was fully attentive, but I was watching the football game, and I see this motherfucker on my back porch. Dude, what's up?
Dude, if you well, obviously you don't remember because it was not my first choice to drive that thing to the stand. You came back after your little test drive and you said, dude, I don't see anything wrong with this. Why don't you go ahead and run it to the stand just to make sure?
Yeah, but certainly if I just said, hey, man, I just jumped off the roof and it felt good. You're not just go run off the roof and say, goddamn, you wasn't lying. It felt good as a motherfucker tumble across that parking lot.
Dude, like we touched on the last podcast, you're a leader, I'm a follower.
But to your point, I told Teddy this. So anyway, I said, man, okay. I said, let's go get this motherfucker. So we jump on my Kawasaki mule. We're going to the barn. I got some chains there. That's that same chain when we was coming back from the Tulsa trip, laying in the middle of the road off an oil-filled truck. Prime candidate to pull that other buggy back to the barn. And Teddy said, no, man, this tow strap ought to work. So he grabs a tow strap, made out of rope, got hooks on it. We drive over there, and Teddy's pulled in. So I hook onto his rear bumper, pull him out the other direction, straighten him out, hook onto him, and there I am, driving my prize Kawasaki Mule Pro FXT, pulling that other buggy behind me. I said, boy, would they love a picture of this shit. I won't mention the other brand, but they love a picture of this shit. And so we get in, and I've been meaning to take this motherfucker to get fixed for about a year, and it's just sitting on a trickle charger. And I said, Teddy, while we got this motherfucker here, I said, you're going back to Rockport tomorrow to do business, pay your bills, and get everything settled before you come back. I said, let's load it up on that trailer and get it ready. So I backed up my Chevy pickup to my trailer. I didn't have to ask Teddy, can I borrow your shit so I can take this motherfucker to the dealer? No, I backed up with my Chevy pickup to my trailer. And, of course, here's Teddy with the news.
Trailer's got a flat tire.
My Ford Bronco's got a flat tire. Now, the trailer's got a flat tire. I mean, everything over here has got a flat tire. And so I said, all right. Teddy goes over the air tank, and I said, hey, dude, I think we've got enough air to pull it into the barn where the compressor's at. And so pull into the barn, put the new tire on. We got plenty of spare tires. Air that sumbitch up. And then what kind of hassle do we have with them fucking with those taking those lug nuts off there?
No, that's the lug nuts on the Bronco.
No. But that was the story. Ted put the jack underneath there. I unloosened most of the lug nuts, and Teddy's over fucking lug nuts. He's over jacking on the stand. He's over jacking up the
floor jack.
The floor jack to get that thing off the ground. And then we're both sitting there. Kind of when you start with a four-way tire tool, you usually get those things loose enough that you can just grab them by your hand and start loosening them. But not these. You had to use a four-way tire tool on all of them. And I'm sitting there talking to Teddy. By the time I got them almost unthreaded, I said, dude, I don't think either one of us is going to make Dell Jr.'s pit team.
Yeah, the slowest tire change in history.
Put that fucking spare on, and I'll be goddamn. Ted's over there completing all the work, and I said, this summit has got to start. It's got to start, and I was able to fire it up, and I fucking couldn't believe it. So I'm over yelling at Ted, put the gate down, put the gate down.
Coming in hot.
Coming in hot. This piece of shit, I don't want to turn it off because I might not be able to get it started again. Ted throws the gate down. I put that summit right on. As soon as I get there, it dies. So my estimation of what might happen did happen. We tied that son of a bitch down, and I was able to take it to the damn shop the next day in my Chevy pickup truck that I got fixed, got inspected with my wonderful wife, Kristen. What else happened during that story? Was that it?
Yeah.
No, but here's the thing I told you. I said at the end, I said, hey, man, here's a food for thought. Next time there's a problem, whether it's you or me, we got to be specific about the problem. Because like I told him, I'm out there like, dude, you send me a text message, I got it right on my phone. We got hassles over here. End of story. And then I didn't, like I said, the first phone call you called, I didn't answer because my phone was on silence. But it says like, hey, man, I'm broke down at such and such. Or like, I'm fucked. I got a bad deal. I'm broke down over here. Or like me walking around my flip-flops. Hey, problem. I'm on the northeast side of the property. I just got bit on the foot by a rattlesnake because I was too stupid to put on my rattlesnake boots that my lovely wife brought me for an early birthday present. So we got to be specific about describing what's going on, because you've got to put yourself in my shoes. If you receive a text, you go, hey man, we got hassles over here. You're not going to assume, hey, I'm going to rush right over to the deer stand where he's hunting at because he's got hassles.
Well, I had a lot of time to think on my walk back to the house, so I reflected back upon my poorly worded text message.
God damn you, say, man, I'm got all kinds of stuff going on over here. And all of a sudden you roll up on me, I'm out there locking up with Bigfoot, having a wrestling match. What are you doing here? I thought you said you had a problem. No, I'm wrestling with Bigfoot. Get out of here. No, come on in. We need a special referee. It could be anything. But like when you sent the picture of the Yellow Jackets, I'm just saying, well, that's the hassle that he was speaking of. The Yellow Jackets was bothering him, but he got the leather gloves to quell the problem, so there's no sense in me going over there with a can of Yellow Jacket spray and going over there. Teddy's sitting there trying to deer hunt, and I come in there blazing with just wasp spray. Shh. What are you doing? What are you doing? Killing all the Yellow Jackets for you. Heard you had a problem, saw the picture on Instagram. No, motherfucker, the buggy won't start. Okay. That's all you do. You got to be specific.
I know that now. I
could have been out there. I could have hooked up to the damn toe strap and just pulled that son of a bitch. You could have kept up your hunting.
And kept on and walked back again.
So then we go. All right, well, I'll tell you what. We had the ox rack on the mule. And the ox rack, I've been telling people about this, is front end attachment where you can pick things up off the ground whether you're working, hunting, whatever. That ox rack is money. Save the day because that was a big-ass hog.
Correct.
And it wasn't like you was going to drive that buggy up there and throw it in the back of the bed.
No, dude, that ox rack is worth the money, and it's impractical to have a buggy without one of those on it if you do any type of, ranch and farming, hunting, anything like that.
I agree, and you can get those trays that you can put on the back. Those are a very, very distant second place. My dad's got a rig that he just made, jerry rig, kind of a tray in the back on a receiver hitch, fold down a piece of plywood, and he's got a crank that you can crank the things up. That works decent.
Correct.
I mean, there's just a whole lot of process to that. And then, I always go to the guy factor. I'm thinking, hey, man, if I put this thing down, I'd be able to load it up myself. Mm-hmm. Hey, man, some of this shit out here is kind of heavy.
Oh, yeah, dude. And you ain't even really got to get out of the buggy to load anything up with that.
No. And, I was talking to Shannon the other day, and I said, and I was telling Ted my technique. I said, if you put the subject matter or the object here on the underneath the thing that you drive underneath the animal, like a forklift, into the basket, you can reach over the dash and use that toggle switch to raise it up. When I told that story to Shannon, she goes, well, Steve, there is the remote control for the winch, right? And I said, no. I don't remember that. So I remember when I go out to the mule the other day, there is the cable that you plug into it, just like on our cleaning station.
Right.
Yeah, there's the old handheld remote control.
Shit.
So we're just taking it to a new level. I'm going to go hook that thing up when we get back done with the podcast, so it'll be a little bit easier. You don't have to use my jerry rig system. Just use the fucking gimmick remote.
Right.
So anything. That being said.
Another endorsement for reading the owner's manual before you get in it.
You was reading something again the other day about an owner's manual. What happened, Kristen?
Our refrigerator keeps freezing everything.
Yeah, our refrigerator. I don't know why it does. Because it thinks it's a stand-up freezer, and it's a stand-up refrigerator.
Right. So Teddy said, do you have your owner's manual? And I said, of course. I keep every owner's manual. I learned that from my mom, and Ted does the same thing.
Well, it's like Teddy said the other day. He had what'd you get this new that she was reading the instruction manual?
Oh, the video camera.
Yeah, Ted got a new video camera. We always like to video our deer and stuff out here so you can see what you got out there. And normally, I just bypass the instruction manual, throw some of it away, and then all of a sudden, I figure I know how to work everything. But Teddy had to finally refer back to his manual because there was a function on the camera that you shit can it until you need it.
He reads manuals as soon as he gets a new piece of equipment, he goes through the entire manual.
Oh man, I know the fucking Komodo tractor out there. That tractor's 9 years old. It looks like it's brand new, but I don't know where the manual's over here. It's in Los Angeles. So Teddy gets an online manual, PDF form. That's how motherfucking crazy he is about a manual.
And then he orders it.
Then he orders one that's got a hard copy. You got a filing system over there, Teddy?
I got to have something to read when I'm in the bathroom.
I don't know where to go with that one. I know where to go with it. Let's take it home. Ted Fowler Construction down in Rockport, Texas, is closed until further notice. Hey, do you ever think about getting a phone number, that goes to an answering machine? Because you got to have the gimmick person with an accent, leaving your voice messages. Like, a lot of people will use the UK accent or something like that. Hello, you have reached the Ted Fowler Construction.
Dude, that's what my Siri does. She talks like that.
Really?
How do you set that up?
Yeah, secret.
Oh.
Another thing to do when you're in the deer stand.
You can't do notes, but you can...
Yeah.
Teddy, tell them about what happened the other day when I was trying to ask Siri for something.
No, goddamn,
She kept cutting me off and jumping my sentences, and I don't know if it's that time of the month or what. Siri would not cooperate worth a shit on the trip up there to UV country. What happened?
Dude, we're in Alvin, and you're like, Siri, give me directions to, and she was like, I'm sorry, Steve, I did not get that. And you're like, God damn it, I wasn't done talking.
Yeah, right in the middle of my sentence, she just jumps my claim. And all of a sudden, oh, here's one. We're 2 miles from UV Power Sports. You have arrived at your destination. Shipley Donuts is on your left. And I'm like, sure enough, there's a Shipley Donuts on the left. And Shipley is my favorite kind of donuts ever. It's a Texas-based chain, and they make great donuts. And I said, Shipley wasn't on my destination. It was UV Power Sports. But you might have been reading my mind because I do want some Shipley Donuts, but I didn't ask for directions there. So why the fuck did you direct me there?
Dude, you turned and looked at me, and you go, did she just say Shipley Donuts? And I'm like, what? Because I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of them because we don't have them in Rockport. I go, yeah. You know, and then lo and behold, there's a donut place right there on the left. It's like, no, dude, we want to go to the goddamn
Well, I'm
Kawasaki
thinking,
place.
if this motherfucker, if Shipley Donuts is on the other end of town of Alvin from UVC Power Sports, it's going to be a whole different ballgame because now we got to traverse through a bunch of traffic. I'm glad we left at 4 in the morning. It hurt to wake up at 3 a.m. and squirt all the Visine in my eyes. We go there to film the videos, and I'm thinking, I should have just saved my Visine for the videos because if I look like I got a bunch of red eyes in the video, it's because I used my Visine too early, and I got about 36 minutes of sleep at night. I told Teddy on the way back as I was looking at that damn Shipley Donuts, I said, you want to stop and get a donut? Because I was just looking. If you'd have just said, yeah, man, I wouldn't mind trying one of those. You speak so highly of them. I was just looking for a reason to pull over and get a dozen of those glazed donuts, best donuts in the world, and a carton of milk to wash them down.
Dude, I knew you were trying to clean up your eating. I didn't want to contribute to your demise.
Oh, you cocksucker. You talk about bullshit. Bullshit band. Bullshit band. This motherfucker shows up every night with a goddamn mixie of Jack and Diet Coke or a beer. And all of a sudden you want a shit can of donut? Help a brother out here. You know how tasty those Shipley Donuts would have been?
Dude, I show up with a Jack and Coke as a test of, it's like an exercise for your willpower. That's what I'm trying to do is help you out.
And so far, I mean, like I said, man, once I say, hey, man, that's enough, I said, I can't make it another 4 weeks like this.
Correct.
So I had my one glass of wine back on my training regimen. You had your workout back. It's good to get back in the gym, wasn't it?
Yeah, I feel it today.
Today I got legs. I'm going to do legs, calves, and forearms. And then I'll hit back the next day. So I'm dialed in. I'm ready to go. But anyway, Kristen, thank you for joining us here on today's podcast. Those manwiches were awesome. Next time, please don't. I guarantee you, Harry Houdini couldn't get through that son of a bitch. You know, much less, dangling by his feet underneath some water. But
All right.
Next time, send us out with a box cutter. Here's your sandwich and your box cutter.
Teddy, Ted Fowler Construction will be closed to further notice. On Twitter, he's Ted Fowler 361. Instagram, Ted Fowler 361. I'm Steve Austin, BSR on Twitter and Instagram. And moment of silence for the skunk.
And the rabbit.
And the rabbit. And the woodpecker. Not a moment of silence for the skunk yet. The skunk is going to be safe. We're just going to transport him. But the rabbit and the woodpecker, we're out. All right, everybody, give me the go home cue. It's time to wrap up this podcast and ride off into the sunset. Before I go, I'm going to give you guys something to watch. You know what I'm going to give you to watch if you listen to the podcast. Just go to YouTube and type in Smokey and the Bandit, or if you're on Netflix or whatever, watch the original Smokey and the Bandit, the one and only, the immortal Jackie Gleason, one of the funniest guys on the big screen ever, as he plays Sheriff Buford T. Justice, a law officer with over 30 years seniority. Anyway, hey, check out Smokey and the Bandit. That way you'll get some of the lines I'm referencing in the podcast. Hey, holiday season is here. ProWrestlingTees.com/Steve Austin has a bunch of new T-shirts that I wore on the Broken Skull Challenge. We're midway through the season right now. It's the most badass TV show on the air. And we've got another new episode this Sunday night at 10/9 Central on Country Music Television when the women come to the ranch and totally destroy the place. All the shirts that I'm wearing on there can be found at ProWrestlingTees.com/Steve Austin or BrokenSkullRanch.com. And, hey, man, like I said in the open, I got a package coming from InsideTheCellar.com, and I know Rob down there at El Segundo Brewing Company was the man behind this who footed the bill. Broken Skull IPA, standard crude, on the way to the Broken Skull Ranch. My birthday's coming up. My wife's birthday's coming up. It's all in a 4-day span, 18, 19, 21. That's reason to celebrate. Going into Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. I got plenty of reasons to drink a couple of beers. And I appreciate you guys supporting the sponsor of the Steve Austin podcast. They're the ones that let me do this for you free twice a week. So big thanks to ddpyoga.com. Buy a max pack or a combo pack and get a second for 50% off at ddpyoga.com/Austin. To Bowl and Branch, get $50 off your first set of sheets and free shipping when you use the promo code Steve at bowlandbranch.com. To MeUndies, get 20% off your first order when you go to MeUndies.com/Steve Austin. To Onnit, get yourself some emulsified MCT oil for 12% off when you order at Onnit.com/Steve. To Simply Safe, go to simplysafeaustin.com to get $200 off the special holiday security package. And, of course, Amazon, who have been supporting this podcast since day one. And Amazon is the best place to get the Cold Steel Broken Skull knife. Just $75 for the most badass everyday carry pocket knife on the planet. And if you order the Cold Steel Broken Skull knife through my Amazon links, Amazon will kick back a couple of bucks to the podcast. It does not cost you anything extra. There are never any hidden fees or charges. You buy whatever you plan on buying, and you help the podcast in the process. And you can find my Amazon links by going to PodcastOne.com, clicking on the Killer Deals button in the top right corner of the page, and hitting the Steve Austin Show button. I've got Amazon links for USA, UK, and Canada. So just go to PodcastOne.com, click on the Killer Deals button in the top right corner, and then click on the Steve Austin Show. Bookmark it so you can find it in one simple click. Hey, keep listening. The 60-second AP News headlines are coming up next. Until the next time, folks, my name is Steve Austin, and I will catch your ass down the road.
Download new episodes of Steve Austin Unleashed every Thursday at PodcastOne.com. That's PodcastOne.com.